Winter sports season is underway, and it's time to catch up on all things Lebanon Warriors with AD Keith Pantling. Keith, how are we doing this morning?
Awesome. Good to be back with you. Obviously, it's December now, so I was just looking at the schedule here for the week. It's Monday morning here, and it's a busy one. So winter sports are here.
Yeah, and before we jump into winter sports, one of the things I'd love to do is kind of put a bow around the fall season. You know, we do 8 shows, and we sometimes miss some personal and team accolades that wrap up during the postseason. And I thought let's put a bow around the fall season and talk a little bit some successes that you'd like to promote.
Sure. Well, obviously, I thought our football season finished out tremendously, 7-4 on the year, and really earned a lot of respect around the league and around the city. So really excited about what they have going. A lot
Absolutely.
coming back, especially on the offensive side of the ball. We sent 2 runners to state in cross country, Lena Wilson and Calvin Kilgallen. Girls golf won the ECC, and Riley Johnson was named ECC Golfer of the Year. Maya White won Co-Offensive Player of the Year in the ECC for volleyball. So I'm going to miss something. So just in general, I thought we finished the fall strong. You look at the all sports standing, and heading into winter, where we're really strong in the winter. I like our chances to be towards the top of those things. So that's something we look at regularly. That kind of is a litmus test across the board for where we are as a program and as a community in terms of athletics and competition in this great league. So a lot of fun. We also have some construction underway here on campus with the turf project, and we had a signing day. We had 9 signees, commit to scholarships at the next level and playing with some grant and aid there. So a lot of cool things happening. When we miss you for 5-6 weeks, there's a lot to catch up on. So it's always fun. It's fast paced, and here we go now with the winter.
Yeah, so congratulations to all those teams and student athletes in the fall, because it was a really successful fall season for the Warriors. I know, like you mentioned, the football team surprised some people, and for next year, boy, it's got to be awful exciting. Coaches have to be excited getting ready to that off-season training program and get ready to get after it in August. So congratulations to all of them. And now it's winter time, and let's focus on them, and let's jump into the gym and start boys basketball. Boy, they didn't go soft at all to start that schedule off. They're right in it, and Kings and Elder right out of the chute, and it's going to be a fun season for boys basketball.
Yeah, they're certainly very deep, very talented. That Kings game was a grinder. It was a great night here to have the boys and girls varsity doubleheader. The girls won by 1, the boys lost by 1. But great basketball. They're doing some new things. They got some new things on the offensive side of the ball that I think they have to kind of get the groove on. But we scheduled Elder. We have LaSalle coming here in a week, and those are on purpose to get these guys ready for that. We're playing big boy D1 basketball, and so we're not going to shy away. We have a tremendous conference, and so it's girls, same thing. We started off with Mason. They took them down to the wire, and so I think we're doing the right things in terms of improving our position to be dangerous in the postseason.
Isn't it fun with boys and girls basketball that both the competition and the level of play, that you can do a doubleheader and pack the gym, and it's just great basketball?
Yeah, it's interesting. So I've talked to some other ADs. We do the same thing for the Springboro game in January. It's really exciting, and it's great for the girls program. Right, wrong, or indifferent. I don't decide what people are into, but it's tough getting the gym packed for them on a Thursday night or a Saturday afternoon. And so to see them, especially when they come out for the second half, get that opportunity to have the big crowd piling in the student section. I think it's really good for kids and for our community. And to be honest, I've talked about with the official shortage and things, why we don't do that more often, to where you can have 3 varsity officials do a back-to-back boys-girl doubleheader, and have your lower level teams play on another day. Now there's things with coaches being there for multiple levels. Now you're adding nights of the week that they have to be there and other things, but it's certainly going to be interesting to see how that trend continues to happen. I think we're going to do that more and more, that we do the varsity doubleheader.
Yeah, it's great. So best of luck to both boys and girls as their season's underway and get going. Let's go to the lanes and the always tough Lebanon bowling boys and girls. Boys are 2-0 right out of the chute against two really tough teams, and Lebanon bowling is always tough. Let's talk about them.
Yeah, Coach Volmering does a great job, man. He gets out here, he recruits, he introduces the game at an early age down at the junior high, and he's had this thing rolling for a while. They did well Saturday. They were at the Big Blue Challenge out in Hamilton, and then I know this week they have Milford and Xenia, excuse me, and then I believe they have another competition this weekend. So yeah, they hop right in and get rolling, so to speak. So should be another exciting year for them. Coach Kober on the girls side has been around the program for a while. This is his first year doing the girls, and I think we have a really good chance to be towards the top of the league again, as we are annually.
How are numbers, Keith? Boys and girls bowling, are they still strong? And you're seeing it as still an up and coming sport with the OHSA?
Yeah, it's kind of a niche thing, to be honest, Rob, because what we have is you have to have a venue in your neighborhood, right? And then in talking with Ron, there used to be one here locally in Lebanon. We actually go over to Middletown, and a lot of places, having been at a few schools and in a couple different conferences, that kind of dictates the interest.
Okay.
They're few and far between, as opposed to 20, 30, 40 years ago when there were probably many more bowling alleys around. And so the travel, kids growing up around it isn't as significant. So we really have to put in an effort to continue the growth. And our coaching staff does a tremendous job. Like Ron really gauges an interest, finds kids. He was a teacher here for a while, and it's so impressive what he does to continue that growth. But it's not by accident. Like, you got to go out and manufacture it.
Right. And one of the nice things about a high school bowling is anybody can participate. It's not a size thing. You don't have to be 6'3". It's anybody can participate, and it's it's a life skill that you can play as you get older. So it's kind of, I'm glad that the OHSA added that, and it's an exciting sport. So, all right, let's go to the pool. Talk boys and girls swimming for the upcoming season.
Yeah, I love what Coach has done in terms of getting them in certain events and tournaments. They went to the Mason Invite this past weekend and did their thing. And then we'll go again this weekend back to Mason, that beautiful facility there, for a quad meet. So they kind of are weekends only right now until we get into January, and then they'll have a couple home meets and things, or later in December. But it's much like a cross country or some of those sports where they just want to continue to progress and kind of peak at the end of the year. So in talking with Coach, we have a ton of great opportunities, and look forward to competing there as we get into January, late January, when you start hitting the ECC sectionals and other things. And I know the kids love the Coaches Classic. So we're getting into the heart of that pretty quickly.
Yeah, and the quad, the teams Mason, Kings, Madera, and Lebanon. So that's kind of fun. Some teams you don't always see in Madera. And then, so that'll be fun this weekend. So best of luck to them this year as the season gears up. Let's go to the mat. Let's talk boys and now girls wrestling.
Yeah, Coach Hensley, one of the best programs. I'd argue one of the best public school programs, definitely in Southwest Ohio. And they had, their numbers are just out of this world. That place is jumping all day long. The youth come in after they're done with practice, finding space for the girls. The junior high program's growth is incredible. They had to find additional space this year, this winter, to accommodate their needs with the addition of the girls program. So we don't rebuild, we kind of reload.
Right.
We lost some real talent. So we really have to overachieve probably to get as many people to the state level as we typically do. But it's crazy how weight classes 1 through 13 all have a chance to get out to the districts and things like that. So Coach is excited about this group. It's kind of a gritty bunch on the boys side. The girls are actually, 5 of them are heading up to the prestigious Ironman in Northeast Ohio this weekend. So they start a little later than everyone. Their first practice wasn't until around November 19th. So they had their hydration tests and weigh-ins last Friday. And now this coming weekend is the first time we see them in action. So excited to see it.
Keith, let me ask you this question, because you guys, you talked about having wrestlers for all the weight classes. That's not the case at every school. Is that coach driven, that the student athletes want to compete with your coach, that he's bringing people into the program? What's driving the numbers at Lebanon with wrestling, would you say?
Well, Rob, I number one, Coach Hensley does just an absolutely amazing job. Two, wrestlers, just when you have the numbers that we have,
Okay.
they're not quitters. So if you get the numbers, the growth of the numbers and guys in that room having fun, competing, part of the brotherhood, that they're not going to bow if they lose the wrestle off and aren't the varsity starter, so to speak. So just over time, the way he invests in they call them the JV dogs.
Okay.
If you're not on varsity, this isn't a sport where they just go and quit and try something else. They take pride in winning JV tournaments. That group of kids is loved by the varsity team, by the coaching staff. It's impressive to watch the culture top to bottom, that people want to be a part of that and gravitate towards that.
Sure.
That program. I mean, it's really impressive to be so close to it. And so, the long and short of it is that they grow and then they retain kids because of what they're doing. And win, lose, or draw, like they want to be a part of that. The personal development and growth, the camaraderie in that room. I mean, the kids live there. They would stay there till midnight if we didn't kick them out. So that's kind of a long-winded answer, but it really is impressive.
That's great.
And it starts with the leadership of Coach Hensley.
One of the things I've always said, the wrestlers, the mentality and the drive of wrestlers is second to none. There's nothing like a dedicated wrestler, and the things that they take with life skills, once they get out of high school and college, it's just a different mentality. And it's so excellent to hear that you've got all the numbers and the drive driven by coach. And it's just awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, we're excited. We've got 8 shows, 7 left, and we're excited to promote your winter sports, Keith. We'll get back next Monday, and as the season progresses, we'll get talking about the Warriors. And as always, thank you for their time today, and best of luck to all the Warriors this winter. And we're excited to talk about them.
Awesome. I got to give one quick shout out to our Lebanon dance team and also our cheerleaders. Our comp cheerleading team this coming Sunday is going up to Wittenberg for the OHSAA state tournament. So excited for them. Looking forward to watching them. And it's rock and roll in the winter.
Yeah.
Thanks
best of luck to them. Yeah. Best of luck to them. Great. Have a great week, Keith, and talk next week.
Yep. See ya.
Thanks.